Hey, what's up? Dusk the Viking here, and today I want to talk to you about skill-based matchmaking. Now, everybody's talking about skill-based matchmaking and how it has ruined Dead by Daylight, but I think they're all wrong. I think skill-based matchmaking is working really well. It's pitting people of equal skill level against each other, and it's doing so with a relatively reasonable queue time. So, what's the problem? Well, I think the issues that are showing through in skill based matchmaking are actually just the symptoms of a larger issue. The larger issue is that the devs for Dead by Daylight have chosen over the years to go with band aid fixes instead of actually addressing core issues. They'll only address a core issue if they have no choice left. Now, to be fair, when they have addressed core issues, the results have been largely good. You know, the map layout and changes, trying to get some balance to some of their characters. You know, they've done a lot to make the game better. But when they're not doing that, which is most of the time, they do band-aid fixes where, they address hook camping by adding a new perk to the game called Borrowed Time, which then players have to, the burden is then put on the player to utilize these band-aids to deal with a problem of the core game. You know, we saw that way back in 2016 when every building had 2 to 5 windows, windows never blocked, all the vaults were fast, and there were 30 plus pallets on every map. It was crazy. Even average skilled survivors were basically untouchable. Their first attempt to fix this was to create the nurse, and I guess their thought process was, well, everybody can just play the nurse, and then that'll fix the issue. Now, of course, that didn't. And back in the day, Nurse could get up to 6 blinks, and she was basically just an unstoppable killing machine, so it just broke the game in a different direction. They were forced to actually fix core mechanics at that point, and they did, and they went well, actually. They actually solved a core issue, and if only they would do that with all of their major issues, I think Dead by Daylight would have been in a much better spot today, and skill-based matchmaking wouldn't be this hot-button topic that it is now. But it is a hot-button topic now, and that's because there are so many band-aid fixes that have piled up over the years that the core gameplay mechanics for Dead by Daylight now mostly consist of little to no counterplay tools that one side constantly abuses to frustrate the other side, because players are constantly in situations where they have no options or choice. They just have to wait for the other side to either be nice or to be stupid. And then and only then can people go back to kind of having fun. So I think what Dead by Daylight is going to eventually have to do, what the devs are eventually going to have to come to terms with, is that they're going to have to fix their core gameplay. Or eventually they will bleed out the majority of their players. I think Dead by Daylight is going to have to get on things pretty quick, or they're going to find themselves in a position where they have a permanently reduced player base, which will reduce their income, which means they can no longer afford to get licensed content, which has been the biggest thing holding the franchise together. And then it will be like a stack of dominoes. Now, the game will probably not permanently shut down. There will probably always be a small dedicated player base that sticks around, but it'll be a fraction of what it is now. If they go back and redesign, and fix their core issues, I think that's going to be really resource intensive. I think they're going to have to put a lot of hours into fixing this problem, but, that's what happens when you spend years piling up band-aid fixes. You create a lot of work for yourself, and, you don't have anybody to blame but yourself, and you have to get that work done or everything's going to fall apart. That's just how it is, welcome to real life. Now, me personally, I'm not going to hold my breath. you know, I assume that the devs will continue to be the devs. I imagine they're going to try and Band-Aid fix their way out of this. I don't think they'll address core issues anytime soon. If they do, it'll take 2 to 3 years for them to do that, and by then, you know, the train will have left the station long ago. So I don't think the outlook is super good. But again, I don't think Dead by Daylight will completely die, but I think it will be, you know, a shell of its former self. Anyway, I'm curious what you all think about all the Band-Aid fixes and the mechanics, and if there's any, you know, horror games that you're looking forward to that are co-op and or PvP. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.